Hi, I'm Abby McHugh-Griffa, Executive Director of the Climate Solutions Accelerator. And there's a lot of content in our newsletter this month. I will highlight just a couple of things from that. And then, as I've been doing over the past couple of months, I will also share briefly just a lesson learned for me personally over these past 10 years of doing this climate advocacy work. So, starting off with a celebration, something we are very excited about. Climate and transportation indicators are now included in ACT Rochester's community report card. So ACT Rochester measures how our community is doing on a number of fronts, and environment just hasn't been one of them historically. And this is something that many people have been advocating for many years, and now it is a real thing. So if you go to ACT Rochester and you scroll over the little community vitality category, you will see a number of different indicators showing how we are currently doing on climate and transportation. Shout out to Reconnect Rochester for getting the transportation indicators in there. And this is an important tool that we will be able to use to see, are we making appropriate progress over time to address climate change? And based on that, to be able to hold ourselves and community leaders accountable. So this is publicly accessible as a resource. It does not include everything that we may have wanted to track, but that's just based on data availability and some other factors. But this is a really significant step for our community. I know it sounds a little boring, but in fact, it is quite thrilling. And huge thank you to all the many people who are involved in making that happen. Second on my list for today, our Climate Solutions Summit is coming up on April 19th and 20th, and registration for that will open in just a couple of weeks in early March. So please keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, I wanted to say thank you to all of the organizations that have already committed to sponsoring the event. And if you are affiliated with an organization, business, nonprofit, whatever, that might want to support the summit, we would be so grateful for that support. You can find information in the newsletter. You can reach out to my colleague Sam, who'd be happy to talk with you about that. And now is the time to secure that sponsorship, which also does include tickets to the event and stuff like that. So if you're planning on attending anyhow, might as well get your whole organization roped in. All right. On a bit of a sad note, our Director of Policy and Advocacy, Claire Henry, is leaving us for greener pastures. She's going to be coordinating the Coalition to Prevent Lead Poisoning through Causewave Community Partners. And good news for the community, because she'll still be doing wonderful environmental focused work there, but we will be very sad to lose her. She's been with us for just over a year and has done amazing things to build our capacity to be meaningfully engaged in the policy conversations, especially at the state level. So she's organized trips to Albany. She has developed a policy platform for us and systems for getting volunteers trained and engaged in policy work. So thank you, Claire, for all the wonderful things you've done. We will very much miss you. Of course, we will be hiring a new policy and advocacy person soon. Keep your eyes posted or out for that job post. But yes, for a little bit here, our policy work will take a dip. Not great timing because it is the height of the legislative session right now. But such is life, and there will certainly be more policy work to do in the future. And on a much cheerier note, we are also, to have this week, welcomed a new energy advisor to our team. Emily Hung is now working with us, and we are so excited to have her on our team. If you are interested in improving the efficiency of your home, give her a couple of weeks to get onboarded, but she may very well be the person who will be helping you with that. So please give her a warm welcome for us. And turning to big lesson learned. Now, this one, I'm a little embarrassed because it's sort of like a complete no-brainer, but somehow it was still profound for me. So take it, with that grain of salt there. But it's simply the fact that we are interconnected and interdependent, and my thriving depends on the thriving of those people around me and, of course, the natural systems on which our lives depend. So if we destroy ecosystems, we are, in fact, harming ourselves, right? And the same if we're, not treating others in our community with respect and dignity, that also at the end of the day comes back to harm us. And I know, like, what an obvious thing to say. But given how our culture celebrates independence and, kind of pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all that kind of stuff, I think it's really important to note, especially on an issue like climate, where, the resources we share, clean air, clean water, we don't have independent control over. Just to keep in mind that we are, in fact, in this together, and to get out the other side in a beneficial way for all, we are going to need to work together and recognize our shared needs and that interdependence. So that's it. I know, duh, right? But still, for me, has been an important lesson and something that I think we would all benefit from keeping in mind. Thanks for listening. Have a great month.